Hi guys, SugarPlumSimss here and welcome back to another video. Today, what are we doing here? We are building a brand new build as per usual, except that is actually going to be changing soon. I will probably talk about that in my next video, which should be out probably in the next day or two, depending on when I finish that up. But we are building a bowling alley, and this is the first bowling alley I've ever built in The Sims, and I'm very happy with it. I think it looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. And I didn't just build a random bowling alley, because I'm not very random like that. In fact, I am, but we don't need to talk about that. I actually built this for Irrelevant Sims build challenge because she recently hit 10,000 subscribers, and then quite soon after she hit 11,000, which is amazing, and a big congrats to her because she might be watching. I don't know. If she is, then hi, you know, how you doing? But I rolled like a randomly generated dice and I got a bowling alley to build, which I was quite pleased with because I just haven't played with the bowling stuff pack much. No reason really, just I don't really play the gameplay very much for myself. I actually think a lot of YouTubers actually have this problem where they don't really play the game for themselves. They kind of just play for YouTube and then, you know, they always feel they have to record. And that's kind of like me because I never really build on my own without recording anymore, and I also don't play The Sims really without recording, and obviously I haven't been able to record. But hopefully that's all going to change now, and I might start a current household because I think I'm going to be starting streaming soon because I haven't even mentioned that I just got a new microphone. Well, I got it on Sunday, which was a few days ago now, but yeah, I did buy a new microphone. Hopefully you can tell the difference. Hopefully you can tell that I spent basically half my savings on it because I can't earn. I'm still 15, I'm still a fetus, so I can't actually earn any money yet. So, you know, any money that I do have, I have to kind of spend wisely. So this microphone for me was quite a big investment because it was a lot of money for me. Obviously for some people I'm sure it wasn't. If they bought like a new microphone, I'm sure it's just kind of like a smallish deal to them, but yeah, I'm very happy with it. I'm very glad I actually got it because after my birthday I had enough money to buy it, but then I was a little bit, oh, do I really want to spend most of my money on this now that I have so much saved up? And the answer was apparently yes, because I am very pleased with it, and I'm very glad I picked out the Blue Snowball ICE, which is the microphone I got, because the sound quality is great. First of all, I've already tested it out because I accidentally, but I recorded a voiceover for one of my Kaz videos that will probably be up in a day or so yesterday, and I was talking as if it was my first video with the new microphone, which obviously wouldn't make sense to people watching, so I'm going to have to re-record that, which no big deal because it was a short video anyway. But I forgot where I was actually going with that. Yeah, but did I mention I was going to start streaming? I think I did. I don't know when yet. I did a poll on Twitter just like a few hours ago now. You can still vote on it probably when you're watching this, because I don't actually know what day I set it to. I can probably check, but I actually asked what time people would be able to watch on my stream. I don't know if the poll, I have a bunch of retweets. Okay, it's got 2 days left, so you should still be able to vote on it as you're watching this, but it's basically to see what time you would prefer me to stream. So far, the most popular vote is 3 PM BST, which is British summertime for me, and that is basically my ideal time anyway. Obviously, I probably won't be able to stream when my parents are at home because, you know, I don't want them to feel like they can't really talk, you know, because I also don't want to be interrupted. So I'm going to try and leave streaming for when like my mum and dad are at work, which my mum works part-time, so she's not always at work, And then obviously my older sister and my younger sister are like often at home, so I just need to work things out first before I actually start streaming. But for when I start streaming, I'm thinking I'll either start like a series that I don't necessarily want to make a series out of, so maybe the 100 baby challenge, because that is a very long challenge and it might be a bit more fun to do it on stream. Or I'm thinking maybe just do a current household, or just do building. I don't know, if you have any suggestions, do let me know. And I also actually already recorded this voiceover. I got about 10 minutes in, but then I realised I just didn't have much to say and it was a little bit boring, so I gave myself like a couple minutes just to write down a few things that I wanted to mention, because honestly my mind just goes blank every time I hit record. I just don't know what to say. I don't think it's like a nervous thing or anything, it's just my brain it doesn't function properly, obviously. But something else I did actually want to mention was my Sims with disabilities, which I was tagged for. I was tagged for by the lovely Pineapple and also Simlissy, and I have not forgotten about that, trust me. I am going to be doing that and I am very excited to do it, but I haven't actually gotten around to build it yet. I need to do that probably in the next few days now, or I think I want to do Spring Sims challenge. I need to actually do that very soon because it's currently the 26th, and how many days are in there in July? 31? Oof, I am bad. There are 31, yes, I was correct. So I have like, 5 days to do that. Should be enough time. If not, I probably won't do it, but I'm hoping to do it because I do like to do both Rory's challenge and Spring Sims. Obviously Rory's takes kind of priority because, she is the main idea. What am I trying to say here? She is the concept creator, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I'm going to be doing hers every month pretty much, unless I'm like taking a break from YouTube, which I probably won't be doing for a while now, and if so it will be like a week or something, so I won't have to miss out on any of those challenges. But just letting you know that I will be doing the Sims with disabilities. I think I just mentioned this already, but just in case any of you, or like Simlissy and Pineapple who actually tagged me, if you're like thinking, oh no, she's not going to be doing the tag, I am definitely going to be doing it. I just need to actually start on it, which I will probably do in the next maybe week or so. I don't know yet. What else? I also actually recently hit 350 subscribers. I'm sure by the time I actually upload this I'll be in like the 349 range, because people like to do that. They like to make you hit, goals and stuff and then immediately unsubscribe. I'm not holding anyone against that, because I'm sure some people don't really think about kind of the sub count, but it's just something pretty much every YouTuber struggles with when they reach like a big goal and then someone decides to unsubscribe, and a little disheartening, but at the end of the day it's like one person and it really doesn't matter. So I mean, I'm still at 350 subscribers. I think after I announced it on Twitter, like one person unsubscribed, and I wasn't that bothered because I never made a big video about it or anything. I don't really make big videos about reaching sort of like the 50 goals in between the 100s. Obviously if I was growing a bit slower I probably would, but I just leave it for when I reach the 100s. And I am very close to 400 subscribers. Obviously I am like halfway from 300 subscribers right now, but I can't wait to reach it, and I won't be doing a giveaway yet. I'm thinking of leaving that until I reach 500, and then I'll probably do another giveaway at 1,000 when I reach that. So yeah, if you want to stay tuned for any giveaways or anything, that will probably happen in like 5 years when I actually reach any big goals. So definitely go subscribe if you want, if you like my videos, that is. Also, we just passed something, which was the tile kind of creation that I came up with. It was basically the bowling tile things that we got, which are really nice and they worked really well in this build, but I decided to create my own pattern using 2 of the different coloured tiles because yeah, I thought it looked quite cool, and I was going to use kind of the bright colours from that, like the bright swatches from that tile, but I think the neutrals look quite 50s, I don't know. I never saw any tiles that look similar when I was looking at pictures of this, which I had to look at a lot of pictures of the 50s style because I've never really built 50s things, and you know, I wasn't actually really into the 50s until actually like researching and doing this build, but I do really love kind of the style. And there was just a lot of colour in this build, and I used a lot of blues and oranges because I saw a lot of that in the pictures that I was looking up, and yeah, I just thought it looked quite cool. And I also really liked the staircase area that I've been working on here. I think I actually end up making a basement, and then I make that staircase one smaller, like 1 tile smaller, and then I make a staircase right next to it going downstairs, which I actually did off camera because I actually forgot about doing kind of like a kitchen area until after I had stopped the video, so I kind of figured out where I wanted the layout because I figured the video would be too long otherwise if I did all that on camera, and then I just recorded me building the kitchen on camera, so that is at the very end, obviously. And also, you probably noticed I put a few jukeboxes everywhere. I was very excited to do the jukeboxes because, I don't know, just jukeboxes, 50s, you know, they go pretty well together, and I was very glad that I remembered to add in some jukeboxes, so yeah. And I'm also kind of thirsty, so excuse me while I get a drink. I'm probably just gonna do it on camera, and excuse if you hear any plastic crunching because I drink out of like the big 2-litre bottles because I just drink a lot during the day, so there we go, I'm all refreshed. Yeah, lots of blues and oranges, and honestly I don't think this build would have been as possible without the bowling stuff pack. I think that definitely helped because there's so much retro furniture in the pack, and I also used these little diner chairs that we got from Dine Out, which I thought worked really well. So the actual lot type itself is a generic lot type because I figured you would be getting both like children and adults and all kind of people there, and you know, your Sims, what am I trying to say? I had like an idea in my mind, but I've forgotten what I wanted to say. You could make this a restaurant lot type since I'm pretty sure you have all the requirements, but I didn't want to because I felt like, you know, it wouldn't really make a huge amount of sense to make a bowling alley a restaurant, but you can do that if you'd like. It has pretty much everything in it anyway. All these diner chairs and a little seating area outside, and yeah, this build actually seems kind of more refurbished really. It's more on the modern side, but at the same time I still think it is quite 50s. There is actually a point upstairs where I'm adding in arcade machines, and then I go away, and that's actually a point where I stop and like come back the next day. But I did a little bit of research about the arcade machines that I had put in, and arcade machines weren't even invented until I think the late 70s, and at first I was going to keep them in because I thought they looked quite cool there and the colours went quite well. Sorry, my squeaky chair, but I wanted to keep it more accurate to kind of the time that this is kind of meant to be set in. So I didn't use the arcade machines in the end, even though I did want to. But you know, if you do decide to download this build, which I think, what was it? I think Chrissy on Twitter just said that she would probably use it, which I'm quite grateful to, because you know, most of the time I feel like my builds aren't always used because I often download builds from the gallery and never actually use them for gameplay. But yeah, hopefully she gets a lot of fun out of this build, and anyone else who downloads it does. But you can add in the arcade machines if you decide to do, just like bear in mind that those weren't invented until like the late 70s, so you know, if you want it to be accurate to the era, then that's just something to bear in mind. I also really like this carpet I placed down, again from bowling night stuff, and these little sofas that I put in were from the Parenthood pack actually. I'm sorry, I kind of shouted that a little bit, but the Parenthood pack, I don't know what I actually used from that. I think just some of the chairs from here, and I think that might have been it. I'm not seeing anything else in the screenshots that I took, but if there is anything, I'm sure it's such a little amount that you can easily get rid of if you wanted to. Really, the two big packs that I used were the bowling pack and also Dine Out, and then kind of various bits and pieces from other packs, but overall not a huge amount. And these little stereos on the wall are from Backyard Stuff, and I get rid of them because I thought they might be a bit too modern for the 50s, and I actually replace it with a like big stereo, which probably wasn't invented in the 50s either, but I thought it looked quite good there, and it definitely was an improvement from the little stereos because those are very tiny, and I think most of the things that, you know, existed in those days weren't as tiny as that in terms of like technology wise. But yeah, here are the arcade machines. I get rid of those because you didn't have arcade machines in the 50s, let me just tell you that, even though I literally just said that like 5 minutes ago. I had something else in mind to say, but I honestly don't really remember. This is a little bar that actually goes. I did want to place it in, and I think I actually did place it in. Yeah, it's behind all the, in front of rather, the bowling alley stations, in front of that little disco dance area that I tried to make. It doesn't really look like a disco area, but it's still kind of a nice place for your Sims to dance and kind of chill out zone-ish, I don't know, but I placed a little kind of bar thing in front of that because it was the only place it really went, and I think it looks quite cool there. It's definitely more, I think, 50s. It was from the bowling stuff pack again, so it does look kind of modern, but at the same time I think it does look quite cool. A little bowling rack for little bowling balls, and I do actually go in like at the very last minute to add in a trophy case, which I actually forgot about. I did go into like show all and then filter in with the packs and actually go in and try and add in everything there, but there are a few things that I don't know if whether it was just because they didn't show up or because I completely missed them, like the trophy case, and also the clock that came with the bowling stuff pack looked really cool, and I added that in a few times over the place. And yeah, also you will notice that the lighting is kind of the fancy lighting again. I've just been obsessed with using that recently, and I think I'm going to make it like a permanent thing, because I don't know, my game wasn't that slow with it. It was like fairly fast actually, but just, you know, I'm going to be using that from now on probably, unless it's like a really big build. And also for gameplay, because gameplay, I think my game will probably struggle a bit, as it does with usually like most gameplay. Anyway, these are the bathrooms. I am very pleased with the bathrooms. I think they turned out quite nice, and they also do look quite 50s to me, and I made them both very stereotypically boy and girl. I used lots of pink in one of them and lots of blue in the other, because I think in the 50s, even though nowadays, you know, the blue and pink is widely used between both the female and male sex, but you know, in those days I'm sure pink was considered very feminine, and you know, it's still considered quite feminine, but I think blue nowadays is kind of used almost equally between both like girls and boys and stuff. But I used this little sofa, which I thought was kind of a little more traditional, but I think that works quite well with the 50s era. And I did use, like, I didn't use pictures of Grease for reference, but when I was building this, I was kind of thinking back to kind of when I watched Grease, which I don't remember when I actually watched it. It wasn't that long ago, I don't think, maybe a year or something. But I do remember seeing kind of sofas and stuff that was similar to this. and I just think they work quite well together actually. And the little bathroom stalls that had the toilets in them, I struggled a bit with the lighting because I didn't know what to put in there. I think I do just end up putting these little like side lamp type things on the wall, but I don't know if I entirely like it, but I didn't put that much in them anyway. So actually, since my game didn't struggle that much in this lot, I don't think your games, if you have slower computers, will struggle either, because there isn't a whole lot of clutter or decor in this build anyway. I did want to keep it more minimalistic, or like kind of a bit more simple, and just kind of have those loud pops of pattern and colour and stuff instead of using lots of cluttered items, because it is a community. That is not how you say the word. It is a community lot, so obviously your Sims don't really need to. You wouldn't really see many clutter items in a community lot, because obviously, you know, people might steal them, and also, you know, you just don't need those. But yeah, so your game probably will be able to manage in this lot if you have a slower computer. And then a little office building, not office building, this little office room in here that I just did, and it was quite simple, just a few, like a desk and chair and some book and quills. I don't know, did they still use quills in those days? Probably not, but I still added it in for, I don't know, authenticity. Did I say that word correctly? I don't think I did. Anyway, I actually wanted to see how you guys were doing, because I never asked this in my videos, and I was actually writing like a list of things I wanted to mention, and you know, I just quickly jotted down to see how you guys were doing, because I just never do ask, and you know, I am quite curious as to see what you guys have been up to, if you've been kind of anywhere during your summer holidays, if you're in school. I don't know, are people in America on holiday yet? I know people in the UK are in most areas, I think. I don't know. I don't know about Australia either. I have cousins who live in New Zealand, and I think they're on holiday. I don't know. I think they're on like their hot winter break or something. But yeah, I'm actually doing quite well recently. I've been feeling really happy, which is good for me, because sometimes I have been feeling a little bit depressed, but I am quite happy recently, so that's always really good to kind of know, I guess, for me personally. I've also been playing some Rocksmith, which is the guitar game that I have mentioned a couple times before, and my finger is beginning to like get a bit harder, which usually means you've been playing quite a bit, and the harder your finger gets, the easier it is to play, because the strings can be quite hard, and obviously you need to be able to move around a lot and press down hard on the strings to get the correct kind of sound on it. And when I first started playing it, my finger actually wasn't that bad, but then as soon as I finished, it was like getting a bit sore, and then it's actually almost getting to the point where it's like the right sort of hardness, I guess, because I used to play quite a bit, so I think that kind of helps a little when it comes to playing again. It's kind of like riding a bike, I guess. When I started playing it again after we got like the guitars back, I actually thought that I was going to be terrible at it, and trust me, I kind of was a lot worse than I used to be, but I got right back into it, and I think I'm like doing alright. I don't know, maybe at some point I'll like post something on Snapchat. I do have a Snapchat, I think it's SugarPlumSimss, probably is. I don't really have any followers on it because I've never really promoted it, but if you want to go follow me on that, you know, just go ahead and do so. I haven't posted anything on it yet, and I don't know when I will, because obviously I have no followers for one, but I don't know, maybe I'll post some stuff about me playing the guitar, or me doing builds and stuff, sneak peek stuff. Yeah, and also just adding in a few detail bits. This build has actually gone a lot quicker than I thought it was going to do. I actually recorded this voiceover again before. I think I actually already mentioned this, so I don't think I'll go into that, but this is going along way better than I actually thought it was. And I also should actually quickly mention that I did cut out a couple things from this build. I think I cut out quite a bit of the landscaping because it was kind of repetitive, and I also cut out me doing all those tile bits because it did take a very long time. And what else did I actually cut out? I don't think I cut out a huge amount else, really, just landscaping bits, I guess. But yeah, I need to actually quickly see, is there anything else that I wanted to mention quickly? Oh yeah, I think I mentioned this in a last build, probably I did, but I will be starting a Let's Build. Did I mention this already? See, I thought I mentioned something in my last video that I hadn't actually mentioned, so I wasn't really going into it very much. That's the problem when you record a voiceover multiple times. You kind of get stuck into actually what you've already said and what you haven't said yet. It's kind of annoying, but you know, maybe I should just try and stick to recording one voiceover for each video rather than recording multiple ones, but I can't really help it. But I will be doing a Let's Play. Did I? Not a Let's Play, a Let's Build, and I think I'll be doing a community a lot. Probably a, I don't know, maybe a gym? Not sure about that. Possibly something like a restaurant. Not sure about that either. I'll have to think about it. If you have any suggestions, do leave them in the comments section down below, as I will always read all your comments, and I also reply unless you are writing something that's a little stupid or that doesn't need replying to. Obviously, if it's hate, I'm not going to reply to it, even though so far I haven't had any hate comments, which I'm very pleased about. If I get any hate comments, I'm just going to, you know, block and delete because I honestly don't care. But yeah, I'm also very pleased with the landscaping I did. Sorry, like, I jump around from topic to topic quite a lot, and I don't know whether it annoys some people. Probably does. I'm sure if I was watching someone and they were jumping around from topic and not really staying on one, it would annoy me a little bit, but I guess it keeps the audience on their toes a little. But yeah, what else are we doing? Just some landscaping. I also cut out the rocks because those took quite a long time, actually. I always cut out, well, I don't always, if it's like a shorter build I don't, but I often cut out me doing like the rocks and some of the repetitive landscaping because I don't think you really need to see that. And also if it's a longer build, I'll cut out anything that's quite self-explanatory, so really colouring and stuff is quite self-explanatory. If you're trying to build and stuff, really colouring isn't going to, like, you're not really going to get much help from seeing another YouTuber kind of colour their build. You kind of have to go with sort of your instincts or like artistic capability. Wow, I'm going a bit fancy with my words here, but just, you know, it's more like an artistic thing with colour, so if you're not that artistic you might struggle a bit with colouring builds, but I guess it's like a personal thing anyway, and I don't know what I'm talking about really, but I am actually going to leave it off here because we are already very near to the screenshots, and hopefully you like them because I had a very difficult time actually picking them out because I had so many on in my game that I had taken, so I should probably like cut back on those a little. But anyway, I'm going to leave it off here now. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, give this a big thumbs up and also subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!